Welcome to today's Trio 30 Talk trending this week for the dates of October 24th to October 30th. We are back and we're going to be talking all about the events happening across campus during this upcoming week. Sit back, relax, and in 30 minutes, know what's trending on campus this week. Coming to you live from my office in Canfield 220 at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. It's Trio 30 Talks trending this week. And I'm your host who's happy to be back after a nice long fall break. Not of a lot of events happening this past week. And looking forward to talking to you all more about all the events that are coming up here on UNL's campus. Hope you all are doing well. Midterms are over, or for the most part. There might be a few midterms still going on, but for the most part, we are into the second half of the semester, counting down the days until we get to that winter break. Looking forward to it. This week, there are a lot of events on Thursday and Friday. Let me tell you, I had to do 2 pages on my PowerPoint slide because there's a lot of great events happening as we get closer to Halloween, one of my favorite times. Hope you all have a costume in mind of what you're dressing for. I think I'm going as Napoleon Dynamite this year, so I can, Tina, eat your food. I got my hair growing out for it. Hopefully it'll be a good time. I really enjoy Halloween very much, and there's a lot of events here to really talk about. Hope you all are doing well, and let's get going here. All right, Sunday. The Nebraska Music Teachers Association State Conference, calling all my music teachers out there. They are starting off at 8 a.m. in the Westbrook Music Building. It's the Nebraska Music Teachers Association State Conference. So go in, if you are a music teacher or into that, make sure you check that out. Make sure you signed up. Hopefully you signed up before that, but that's happening on Sunday, October 24th. As always, on Sundays and throughout the week, we have drop-in library help on Zoom. If you have trouble finding what you need in the library catalog, need help finding scholarly or peer-reviewed articles for your assignment, drop in and talk with one of the library experts. No appointment is needed. Just head to the library and the Zoom link and go ahead and click in and ask for help so you can find those resources that you may need for your upcoming projects and papers. They're on Zoom, and it's from 3 to 6 on Sunday, the 24th. Later in the evening, we've talked about this event before. It's throughout the whole week, pretty much. But Nebraska Shakespeare, the Nebraska Repertory Theater presents Shakespeare, an immersive theatrical experience. As we get closer to Halloween, that sounds pretty fun. I might have to go, and that's in the Temple Building at 6 p.m. on Sunday, October 24th. That's it for the Sunday events. As you know, Sunday sometimes doesn't have many events, as a lot of students have organizational meetings. But as we get into the week, trust me, Thursday and Friday, there are a ton of events for you to go to. But first, we go to Monday, and we're going to start off with our day one of a 5-day event, the Nonprofit in Residence Neighborhood Works. There's one every day this upcoming week. And this one here is the Nonprofit Residence Program enables UNL students to have volunteer and career conversations with nonprofits. Students can learn about industries, internships, and volunteer positions. This is happening in the Nebraska Union from 11 to 1 p.m. Learn a little bit more about different nonprofits, so you're able to check that out. And it's Nonprofit in the Residence Neighborhood Works in the Nebraska Union, October 25th from 11 to 1 p.m. Later in the day, if you like to cycle and you like cider, as you know, I'm a big fan of alliteration as well. So cycle and cider in the Recreation and Wellness Center, right along as we bring you through fun Halloween spin class, followed by a glass of cider from our wellness kitchen. Costumes are encouraged. So go ahead and check out that. It's 5 p.m. on Monday at Cycle and Cider at the Rec and Wellness Center. If you're not into cycling or cider, but maybe you want to get some pizza from Yaya's downtown, please join the E.N. Thompson Forum on World Issues for Pizza and engaging informal discussion on immigration law and policy, the topic of the forum's upcoming talk. So E.N. Thompson Forum, pre-talk pizza and discussion. So go ahead and check that out. Get some pizza for free downtown at Yaya's at 5:15 p.m. Later in the evening at 6 p.m., we have the Multicultural Greek 101 in the Nebraska Union. Multicultural Greek 101 is a seminar to learn more about the Multicultural Greek Councils, also known as MGCs. Multicultural Greek Councils serve as the governing body for 8 culturally Greek lettered sororities and fraternities. Again, that's in the Nebraska Union from 6 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. Here's a movie that I've been wanting to see and want to go to this event. It's The Green Knight free screening for students, faculty, and staff. The Medieval and Renaissance Studies program is excited to bring David Lowery's 2021 feature film, The Green Knight, to campus. The UNL community is invited to attend the screening on October 25th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. There will be an optional talk back following the film with Professor Kelly Stage of the MRST and English program. Check it out, The Green Knight is going to be happening on October 25th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Moving on to Tuesday, the Nebraska Ambassadors Forum, Africa's Role in the Contemporary World. This is a program in partnership with the University of Nebraska Omaha, Burlington Capital, and in the American Academy of Diplomacy in Washington, D.C. The 2021 Nebraska Ambassadors Forum will examine key policy issues facing African governments and the international community between now and 2050. The event is also the opportunity for Americans to learn more about the continent and its rich, nuanced world. Nebraska Ambassadors Forum, Africa's Role in the Contemporary World. That will be happening in the Nebraska Union from 10 to 11:30 on October 26th. So check it out if you're into learning more about Africa's role in the contemporary world. As mentioned, we have day 2 of our nonprofit in residence, Friendship Home. And this event is hosted by the Student Leadership Involvement Community Engagement, also known as SLICE. The Nonprofit in Residence program enables UNL students to have a volunteer and career conversations with nonprofits. Students can learn about industries, internships, and volunteer positions. Again, this is we're learning about Friendship Home in the Nebraska Union from 11 to 1 p.m. Later on in the afternoon on Tuesday, we have open REACH training, REACH suicide prevention training for the UNL campus community. Big Red Resilience and Wellbeing offers REACH trainings for university and students affiliated organizations, departments, colleges, and programs. The training is designed to last 90 minutes and cannot be shortened. Participants will learn key signs of how to help prevent suicide. This is an open REACH training, all open again for all students. This will be in the West Stadium from 3:30 to 5 p.m. Later on in the evening, we have Evening of Choirs in the Kimball Recital Hall. Evening of Choirs will include chamber singers, university carol, and varsity choruses at 7:30 p.m. on October 26th. Later in the evening, if you're interested in climbing, I like to make sure we sponsor the climbing all the time because it is a great way to work out, relieve some stress after midterms. Head on over to Lead Climbing Clinic Part 1 from 8 to 10 p.m. in the Outdoor Adventure Center. Come and learn the basics of lead climbing on our campus rock wall. And that does it for Tuesday as we move on to Wednesday. And we start off with from an event, 1 Million Cups Lincoln with Grain Weevil. Join us for 1 Million Cups and hear from Chad Johnson, co-founder at Grain Weevil. The Grain Weevil is a grain extraction and bin management robot that scurries across the top of the grain within a bin, smoothing out clumps so that grain can be properly aerated and easily extracted from the bin. What is 1 Million Cups in Lincoln? 1 Million Cups is a weekly event for local entrepreneurs to meet and present their startups to a thriving peer network of founders in Lincoln. The coffee is highly encouraged. This event is free and open to the public. That is happening from 9 to 10 p.m. And that's happening on the Combine Room, 2125 Transformation Drive and Suite 1000 in the Rise building. And so that's a great event for students who are interested in that and learn more about that startup company. I think that's very true Nebraska to make sure we talk about that. So that would be a really cool thing to see that robot moving around and grabbing all the grain. I don't think I would have any idea what was happening, but I think it would be a very cool sight to see that in action. On Wednesday, again, we have our nonprofit in residence, and this time we're going to be talking with Big Brothers Big Sisters. This is a chance again where you can learn a little bit more about that, volunteer, have some career conversations, and learn about the industry and volunteer positions that are able for you as students. Again, that's happening from 11 to 1. Later in the evening, what the hell? Vitamins, what to take and what you can skip. This is happening from 5:30 to 6 p.m. via Zoom. Vitamins are a great way to supplement your nutrition. Learn which ones are recommended and which ones should be avoided. We'll also discuss supplements, gummy vitamins, gummies, and a whole bunch of different types of things that you're able to learn to take and what you don't need to take. So check it out at What the Hell from 5:30 to 6 p.m. on this Wednesday. And lastly, over in Outdoor Adventures, we have LXB, League of Extraordinary Boulderers, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Join our weekly bouldering league and compete against others across campus. Great chance to have some competition and climbing after you've done that climbing clinic a few days ago. Now you can go there and try it out and race against some people in the League of Extraordinary Boulderers. So let's take a quick minute before we head on for our sponsor of this week's podcast. The LGBTQA+ Center works collaboratively to provide intersectional education, resources, outreach, and advocacy to develop academic success, identities, community, and leadership opportunities. Lesbian, gay, bi, pansexual, transgender, queer, questioning, asexual, aromantic, allies, plus additional identities relevant to sexual orientation, gender identities, and expression. Their vision statement, our vision is to have a campus that recognizes intersectional understandings of gender and sexuality by engaging with campus and local community on issues related to gender, gender equality, sexuality, and social justice. Their social justice value statement talks about we recognize the intersections of gender and sexuality with race, ethnicity, class, ability, age, culture, nationality, immigration status, and all social systems. They work to build and bridge communities that welcome and affirm people to be their whole selves, honoring their multiple identities and life experiences. We work to change systems and marginalize individuals and communities based on social identities. They are committed to supporting student success, building community, and developing leaders. Again, this is a great organization for our campus, a great office, a great center. The LGBTQA+ Center really works really hard to make sure our students are supported across campus. They have the lavender closet where you're able to try on clothes if you don't have the right fit for clothes, or to try on different type of clothing. You're able to go in and do that. Last night I went to the LGBTQA+ history dinner, and it was fabulous. One of the best events I've been to in a while, which is really great. So kudos to all those that did that program. And they're just there to be very helpful for our campus, for anyone who is an ally or anyone who's in part of the community, to really help focus on supporting them. Later this week, they have a really great event that we'll get to on Friday, and it's the drag show. And I'm really excited to talk about that. I'm really excited to go. I'm going to be there talk about that when we get to Friday. But thank you to the LGBTQA Plus Center for all your work and being a sponsor. If you want to know more about their program, we did do a podcast with the LGBTQA Plus Center. So check that out. It's one of the earlier episodes that we have done. Thank you again to them, and thanks for being a sponsor of this podcast. Moving into Thursday, we have a pretty big event at 9 a.m. and it will be done virtually, but it is the 2021 State of Diversity. The University of Nebraska is a public land-grant institution with campuses and programs across the state that reside on the past, present, and future homelands of the Pawnee, Honoka, Oto, Missouri, Omaha, Dakota, Lakota, Arapaho, Cheyenne, Kaw peoples, and Winnebago, as well as the relocated Ho-Chunk, Iowa, and Sac and Fox peoples. Learn more on recognizing the land. It's really important that we talk about how University of Nebraska was founded and what land it was on, and make sure we have those land acknowledgments for a lot of our events across campus. And so the Office of Diversity and Inclusion provides vision, leadership, and advocacy in fostering an inclusive, equitable, and welcoming campus central to the land-grant mission of UNL. Leads and facilitates the development of institutional policies, protocols, and practices intended to create a more equitable and inclusive campus culture, and utilizes an inclusive excellence framework to foster and engage creative and innovative learning environment for all. The State of Diversity 2021 will feature several diversity leaders across the nation in a panel conversation designed to educate and inform campus of pressing diversity issues and perspectives on building equity across institutions of higher learning. This year's event will be hosted in a hybrid format, allowing participation across all channels. So check it out, diversity.unl.edu/state-diversity-2021. Check that to go ahead and sign up and go to that event. It is virtual to learn more about how we can be equitable in our work to make sure everyone feels included in higher education. That event goes from 9 to 12:30 p.m. But you know what? What's happening over in our LGBTQA plus center and our women's center, the Halloween at the centers. Come pick up treats and celebrate Halloween with both those offices. To be able to meet them and greet them, they are on the 3rd floor in the Nebraska Union from 10 to 4 p.m. open all day. Here you go, check it out. One of our, day 4 of the 5-day event, our nonprofit and resident community action partners, community action partnership of Lancaster and Saunders counties. So it's a chance to learn more about the community action partnership of Lancaster and Saunders counties to figure out internships and volunteer positions for you. As always, here in our Trio office in Canfield, we have coffee and tea at 3. Stop by for some fresh coffee, tea, and conversations with fellow students every day, every Thursday at 3 p.m. Later in the evening, we have the student night. Drop in and decompress at Sheldon. The Sheldon Museum of Art has a chance for you to drop in, decompress with self-guided art, making a mindfulness activities in a quiet and welcoming space. If you're into art and want to learn more and get the kind of chance just to walk around and decompress, feel free to go ahead and do that between 4 and 8 p.m. at the Sheldon Museum of Art. Like I said, Thursday has a lot of events. Here's 6 more events on Thursday just happening this evening. In Halloween snacks at the Recreation and Wellness Center. It's Halloween season in the Wellness Kitchen. We'll be making mummies out of meatballs and graveyards out of guacamole. Grab a friend and enjoy a laid-back evening preparing and munching on Halloween snacks. That sounds pretty good. Guacamole and meatballs. Sign me up from 5:30 to 7 p.m. in the Recreation and Wellness Center. Later in the day, after you maybe had your full of meatball and guacamole, head over to the Rise Suite 1270 to get that Heart Saver First Aid, CPR, and AED training. Nebraska Safety Center is instructing Heart Saver First Aid CPR training at the Innovation Campus in the Rise Building Suite 1270. Feel free to register And if you need to, there is an email with Mitchell Locken to email him. So that way you can learn, make sure that you are signed up so you can get your first aid certification. Next event from 6 to 8 p.m. is Autumn in the Arboretum. And this is in the Wacoa Stables. There's lawn games, pumpkin decorating tours, food, and inspiring presentation from 6 to 8 p.m. with the Young Lecture. Check out that in Autumn in the Arboretum from 6 to 8 p.m. October 28th. All right, another event hosted by our Slice office and international students, Nightmare at East Campus. Enjoy a fun, static night of indoor Halloween themed activities and treats all in one location. Wear your favorite costume and bring your crew. Nightmare at East Campus from 7 to 10 p.m. in the Nebraska East Union. At 7:30 p.m., we have Boston Pops on tour. The Boston Pops is not only an American orchestra, it was John Williams' orchestra before he passed the baton to Keith Lockhart. Conductor Keith Lockhart and the entire orchestra mark their return to the Lied Center. So check it out, the Boston Pops on tour at the Lied Center at 7:30 p.m. In the Temple Building at 7:30 p.m., we have another running of the Nebraska Rep Shakespeare. And this is a chance for you to go into the immersive theatrical experience. The Nebraska Rep Shakespeare at 7:30 p.m. Now, that was a lot of events on Thursday, and we got plenty more on Friday, as we have the College of Architecture open house. Your adventure begins with a first step. Register today for our open house at UNL's College of Architecture at 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. The College of Architecture has an open house at the Architecture Hall. Day 5 of our nonprofit in residence is the Cause Collective. Learn more about the Cause Collective from 11 to 1 in the Nebraska Union, hosted by Slice. On Friday, again, from 11 to 4, as always, it's Tea Time Friday in the Jackie Gahn Multicultural Center. Come to the Kawasaki Reading Room and enjoy a variety of different teas and snacks. Always happening Friday from 11 to 4. CEO Action D&I Conversations with Chancellor Green. Take part in this important conversation hosted by Vice Chancellor Marco Barker and Chancellor Ronnie Green. This is an opportunity to hear updates on topics of racial equality, equity, and inclusion at Nebraska, and all are welcome. This is done virtually and will be happening from 12 to 1 p.m. for the Action, Diversity, and Inclusion Conversations with Chancellor Green. Ignite, featuring Ross Media Arts Center, Cinema Showcase Arts. Chris Innes, Ace, is the Academy Award-winning editor and founder of Grindhouse Releasing and Academy Award-winning film editor of the critically acclaimed thriller, The Hurt Locker. She graduated from the University of California, Berkeley. So check it out and learn all about the things from Chris Innes and get a chance to learn about all the things that she's done and the cool things in movies. The Hurt Locker was a pretty good movie, I think. And so learn more about from her at the Ross Media Arts Center. And Little Ak-Sar-Ben is an opportunity for both experienced and non-experienced showmen to compete in showmanship against each other in separate experienced and novice categories. Anyone who attends UNL can participate in any species, pigs, sheep, or goats. So this is in the Animal Science Complex, Little Ak-Sar-Ben, from 3 to 7 p.m. Get a chance to learn about how to show different types of animals, which will be kind of a cool event if you're not familiar with that. Now, I'm a city guy, so I don't know a whole lot about showing animals, so this might be something interesting to learn about. And the last 3 events on Friday, again, we have the Halloween Town the Movie at the Nebraska Union Movie Night. Free screening of the 1998 Halloween family comedy TV movie is showing from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the Nebraska Union. Also at 7:30 p.m., we have the Temple in the Temple Building. We have Nebraska Rep Shakespeare once again, happening again in the theater. They present Shakespeare, an immersive theatrical experience. And then finally, the event that I've been waiting for all week. I learned about this way back in the summer in October, Night of the Living Drag Show. Join us for our amazing student performers for our annual Halloween drag show. This show is a fundraiser to help support student travel to conferences and to aid the Student Support Fund. Come in costumes and be ready to be amazed. Night of the Living Drag Show from 8 to 10 p.m. in the Nebraska Union, sponsored by the LGBTQTA Plus Center and Women's Center. Check out Night of the Living Drag Show. After you finally got your full of events on Friday, we get to Saturday. Only 3 events happening. We have our BLIXT playwriting workshop, Ghouls Night Out, in the evening of October 30th. But earlier that day, we'd love to see you for a free playwriting workshop. Learn to be a free playwriter here at this event at the Mill Coffee and Bistro from 2 to 4 p.m. Later in the evening, they present Ghouls Night Out. So Ghouls Night Out, a special BLIXT Halloween event at the Mill Coffee and Bistro at the Nebraska Innovation Campus. And then lastly, we have the Nebraska Rep Shakespeare again, happening again at 7 p.m. in the Temple building. And that is it for the week. A lot of events happening across campus, which is really exciting. I love Halloween, a lot of different fun events. Let's take a time to talk about this week's tips for you all that have made it this far. I appreciate you listening. Midterms are over for the most part. And now it's time to start thinking about, as we move towards finals and get ready for this semester to close, what are you doing from now until then to help you prepare maybe a little better for your test, or maybe keeping things the same? So a lot of you might have been stressed and not doing a whole lot of these extra things. So now it's time to work towards your self-care, getting back on a regular routine for working out, cleaning your room, making sure you're getting some sleep. There might have been a lot of late night study sessions over the past week for your midterms. So, and then you're going to start to ease back into your studying, right? So remembering, if you're one who stayed up all week, all night, had maybe 3-4 hours of sleep a night, now's a chance to kind of think about, okay, maybe I should try to study a little bit more, a little, not as long nights, but taking little pieces, little chunks at a time, studying for your test, reading a little bit more chapters than just maybe the headlines, and think about how you're able to do things maybe a little differently. So that way you're not stressing out for when finals will come. So that way you're a little bit more prepared. It might still be a little stressful, but you feel more prepared and you're not spending late hours studying every single night. Now's a chance to kind of think about, okay, you had your midterm, your professor showed you what they do for their tests for the last 8 weeks. So now how can we study for those kind of tests? Typically, they're going to be always roughly around the same. Again, just do the work in small sections. Don't try to wait to do everything at the last section and try to cram it all in at the last point right before you start your finals in December. Hope you all get some rest. Enjoy yourself, because all the events that are happening across campus, that's a good chance to kind of work towards your self-care as well. Enjoy yourself this week and then next week. I'm looking forward to seeing you all at different events across campus. As always, feel free to check in with us. We work in our TRIO student support office, but as you know, this is podcast and this YouTube channel is open for all students to learn about events, resources across campus. But check in here, use the QR code, let us know that you listened, let us know that you watched, and be able to say, hey, I want to hear more about this, or I want you to go back and do some more resources across campus, which we'll get back into here shortly. And then, as always, our podcast is on Spotify and Apple iTunes. Trio 30 Talks is the name. Again, I love alliteration, and that's why it's Trio 30 Talks. And so there's our QR codes if you're watching the YouTube version to check that out. And if you're looking at our social media, we have UNL Trio Scholars on Twitter, UNL Trio Scholars on Instagram, and of course, Facebook.com/UNL Trio Scholars to get to our page, learn about when we're going live for events, what we're doing, all the different types of things. I really hope you all enjoy this week. Be safe. I hope you get a chance to relax from your midterms and get ready for a fun-filled Halloween. As we're back, Halloween is back. I know COVID's still kind of going on, the pandemic's still going on, but Halloween is in full force, and I'm really excited for it. One of my favorite times of the year with everyone, all the costumes, and of course the candy. Love candy, maybe a little too much. But I hope you all enjoy your week. And as always, go big red.